My name is Sharon Love, and I am the culinary arts teacher at Star Spencer High School, Academy of Hospitality and Tourism. Today, we are discussing the history of soul food, and with me are my students,
Tanjanae Obiano,
Xavier Langston,
and London Tipton.
soul food derived from prized Southern dishes during the American slavery era. Soul food was mostly known as Southern or comfort food, and is now the foundation for bringing back memories of family dinners and special celebrations. This method of cooking also introduced the foundation from which many popular dishes are made today.
from 300 in 1619, the first group of Africans landed in America in Jamestown, Virginia. African American slaves were farmers, cattle raisers, and fishermen, and introduced several plants and seeds such as black-eyed peas, okra, sweet sorghum, and watermelons as parts of African American crops and foods.
The slaves created their own meals from the leftovers that their masters did not eat. That was part of animals that were thrown away as garbage and instead were given to the slaves, or hungry and desperate slaves would eat things that actually were discarded by the slave owner.
The slaves often exchanged recipes verbally with each other, which led to the development of African American cuisine. This was how many of their foods were gathered from their meals. Although their love for cooking included pork, sweet potatoes, collard greens, and southern bread. Breakfast was considered the most important meal of the day. A typical breakfast consisted of hoe cakes and molasses.
Bro, she said hoe cakes.
Okay.
I'm playing. Yo, what's a hoe cake?
Oh, that is a type of a pancake and a type of a waffle that was made back in those days.
Oh, all right.
During that time in history, young people learned to prepare traditional foods such as fufu, which is made with vegetables and pounded yams. Fufu was often served with soup, stew, or roasted meat. The native foods were yams, vegetables, rice, and ground nuts.
Africans were also very skilled in frying, roasting, grilling, boiling, and steaming their foods. They also had special talents preparing wild game and planting small gardens including wild greens and fruit. Women often worked 16 to 18 hours in the fields, then prepared one-pot meals for their family.
After 16 hours working in the fields, I'm going to sleep. Somebody else gonna have to cook.
Cooking was mostly done on open pits or fireplaces with large swing black pots and big iron cast skillets, and were prepared by black cooks. Cooking on an open pit today are now used as grills.
The slaves did not use the measuring cups or cooking devices. They had no cooking books or formal training of cooking. They had no one to learn from except each other. It was a great challenge for them to create good food with primitive tools and very limited ingredients. They also cooked such foods as biscuits, baked beans, and variety of breads and barbecue.
They used large amounts of fat, sugar, and salt to season their foods because it was readily available. Salt was also used as a preservative since there was no refrigeration or other methods to keep the food cool.
See, that's what you call a generational curse. That's probably why African Americans today have a history of high blood pressure, diabetes, and heart disease.
When testing their food for doneness, they used their own senses, and when they felt the need, they added a pinch of seasoning to enhance the flavor of their dish. They knew by their instinct when their food was done, and as many cooks know today.
Oh, so that's why some recipes say add a pinch of salt or pepper.
Yes, and some also say bake until golden brown.
Cajun and Creole was also a familiar style of cooking and included such popular dishes as jambalaya, bread pudding, desserts, dirty rice, gumbo, and red beans and rice.
During that time in history, black cooks verbally exchanged recipes as they remembered them, and today many Southerners still cook without a recipe by just simply remembering main ingredients and adding seasonings and spices to their taste. This way of cooking has produced many great cooks.
By the end of the Civil War, black African Americans cooked on cattle farms and were pioneers as farmers and survived off the land. During these hard and difficult times, they adapted to their own cooking habits and techniques, formed many new ones along the way.
In the 1960s, Southern-style cooking by black African Americans were renamed soul food in the honor of black cooks who prepared food during the slavery era. It was also a reminder that these cooks paved the way in the development of African American cuisine, now soul food. Today, people from all walks of life, young and old, enjoy soul food cuisine. Soul food is also prepared in many households in America for families, gatherings, and special celebrations. The foundation for soul food was laid many years ago, and today the tradition lives on.